year ago. No one Mike is delivering food for thought. To find out more about the dynamic host of On the Mic with Mike, please visit his website at mikeandbiz.com.
Hello from Washington, President JB here. Whenever Jill and I are leaving our car, we tune into our guy, Mike King Biz on ESPN Radio.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to On Mike with Mike King here. This is part of the Mike King Biz Media Network, ESPN Richmond 106.1, The Choice 105.3, International Business Coach Radio, as well as CW Richmond TV every Wednesday and Friday. We are doing business different. This program is about how business helps society be better. That's what we do. It is Wednesday, so you know what time it is. Hey, it is Chamber Wednesday. We got El Presidente in the house. Danielle Fitzhugh is here. Last week she rolled solo, but this week
I know
she rolled out the big gun.
Up my game.
Because it's always a pleasure. All right, so we're gonna get the sales pitch out the way. Sales pitch for the Chesterfield Chamber, madam.
Yeah, so if you do business in Chesterfield or you want to do business in Chesterfield, there's no better place that can do it as good as the Chesterfield Chamber. And you can find us online at chesterfieldchamber.com and on all social media at Chesterfield Chamber VA.
Chesterfield Chamber, the one who put me on the map.
You're welcome.
I'm just saying.
You're welcome.
Yes,
You're welcome.
Okay,
I'm gonna
so
up your membership for
that is true. So the gentleman behind me. So Danielle, you always say that the chamber gala is a 30-minute meeting with a 2-hour party.
That's right. That's right.
The gentleman behind me who's here always seems to be the person delivering the news at the gala.
Billy's great for a party.
Yes. Okay.
Thank
All righty,
you.
sir. Welcome to On the Mic with Mike. Tell
like a
folks who you are
mission
and what you do.
I love it. I'm glad to be honored by doing it.
Yeah.
All righty. So tell us who you are and what you do.
I'm Billy Johnston, and first of all, you use that term gentleman loosely, so.
Being on this program, sir, we are trying our best to keep it in the lines
Okay,
because things can get a little cattywampus. I'm from
Okay.
Pennsylvania, so
okay,
don't worry about it.
we'll keep that in the lines.
Yes, thank you.
No, I work for Village Bank. I'm a commercial relationship manager. Village Bank has been a part of the community. It seems like a short time, but it's been a long time. We really started up the same time the Chamber did about 20 years ago. And we have grown tremendously. I think we had a great impact during the pandemic with the PPP program. We tried to help out as many people as we could. We just didn't take Village Bank customers. We took every customer or any type of person that needed help with keeping their employees and keeping this economy going. We spend a lot of time giving back to the community. And as I mentioned before, we're really, really tight with the Chamber.
Really quickly, so now we're kind of in some uncertain waters here. People are kind of questioning banking systems, things are going on. Offer some insight as to what businesses could expect or some tidbits for businesses to help them out as we're going forward.
Sure, Mike. We've been in a lot of uncertainty in the last few years.
Yeah,
with
yeah.
the pandemics and then recently with some of the banking issues. But one of the things that we pride ourselves on, when we prepare our underwriting, we make it a very tough process. I don't want to say that we don't give out loans because we're very good at giving out loans. We have an SBA department, one of the top SBA lenders in the state, regardless of size. But we want to make sure that those customers are going to be in a good shape. So we do a pretty deep dive up front.
Okay.
We have a great board that realizes that, especially as a smaller bank, a community bank, you need to have a balance in your portfolio. We make sure that we don't have all one industry in our, boat. We don't want to have all real estate. We don't want to have all, hotels. We balance it out. We want to make sure that we have a good mix. And we also feel like it's a better way to help the community as well, too.
You guys are really seem to be community minded. That's why I see you really doing a lot with the chamber. Talk a little bit about what that means to the relationship with the chamber, why that's important to Village Bank as to what you guys are doing now.
Sure, and I mentioned earlier that one of the original members of the chamber was
Yeah.
Village Bank, helps start.
One
the
of our
chamber.
very
Yeah, probably.
celebrate anniversaries.
Is it
together.
a founding member? Is that what that is?
So Village Bank is a community leader member in our chamber membership. And I mean, they've been partners with us hand over step, hand in hand since day one.
Yeah, I mean, we have the same goals, we have the same mission, and we've had a great relationship for a long time. And I came in, I think, right after you did, Danielle. So I've gotten to know Danielle pretty quickly, and we just, hey, they asked me at the bank, get involved, Billy. So I just try to get involved in anything I possibly could.
So we talked to Danielle, we've gone through the pandemic. Must be the new normal, what you guys learned, and you came through the pandemic. You guys seem to be back better than ever. What, from a banking perspective, what did you guys learn coming from the banking system that you never did before, but all of a sudden you realize that thing works?
I just think it's for us, there was a lot of teamwork, there was a lot of resiliency. I used to be a CPA, worked a lot of long hours, and it was very similar to that, where you just hey, we're going to work till we get this job done. And
Okay.
I think we met a lot of new friends too. We met a lot of new people in the community, and it actually helped our bank a lot. And that wasn't the goal, but it ended up, it made us stronger in terms of a team, and made us stronger in terms of financially our balance sheet as well too. So it gives us an opportunity to be in this community for years and years to come.
And I just want to add, I mean, I don't know how widely this is known, but during those first few years of the pandemic, I mean, Village Bank was making sure businesses could get access to their PPP money as quickly as possible. Anytime, and I tell people, I'm a recovering banker. So I was in banking for 10 years. Neither one exists today. And anytime you have the bank president processing loans and processing applications, making sure that no business need is left unmet, that's when you know the bank is committed to the community. And I know that was happening at Village Bank. There were some long hours, and I mean, they were helping businesses close. I know they were delivering closing papers in person, virtually, the whole thing, to make sure businesses could get access to the funds they needed to stay operating.
Danielle's correct. I mean, our president was processing himself. My boss, the executive vice president, Max Moorhead, he pulled an all-nighter a couple times, and as I'm
stuck with me.
Yeah.
I mean, I've worked in two
You
different.
don't see that.
I've worked in 3 different community banks, not in this market, but in another market, and I just don't know that would have happened. That really stuck with me.
Yeah, we have a really strong team.
Before we came on, we had talked about the way that people view the Chesterfield Chamber of Commerce, and it's because of the culture there. Can both of you talk about setting culture in an organization and why that's so important?
It's really about setting community, right? So, Village Bank is made up of people who are in our community. The Chesterfield Chamber is made up of businesses that are made up of people in our community. So we're all working towards that same goal, and just different spokes. The same goal is to make sure that Chesterfield is a best place, and then fill in the rest, a best place. And that's what the goal really is.
I think the culture starts at the top, and the person who's leading that organization hires the right people and sets the culture. And we've had some really strong leaders in our group, and I think a great point too, Danielle, when you say we visit the places that we have relationships with, in terms of whether it's deposits or loans or whatever. And a lot of these people not only just become, just a customer or client, but they become friends. And, we'll see a lot of these guys out in the community, so much. So it's more than just us having a business deal or transaction. We're not a transaction-based company. We're relationship-based, and that really sets a tone for who we are in this community.
The idea that a banker, the president, is pulling an all-nighter is something radical. It really is.
You just don't hear that.
No, you don't.
And it's not, it's because they want the service to the community. They want to service their customers. And there was a need that needed to be met. And Village Bank was meeting that need.
All righty, we have Billy's here, Danielle's here with us. This is Chamber Wednesday. All right, Danielle, what are some of the new and exciting things happening at the Chamber? There's always something.
Yeah. And Billy didn't say it in his introduction, so I'll put him on the spot. So you may not know, Billy's also on our Chamber Board of Directors.
So, sir, let's talk about
Well, he needed another job.
The Board of Directors. So clearly, I've come to understand the Chesterfield Chamber. They don't just take anybody on the board. You got to work to be on the board it's a process.
It is a process.
So, and just because you want to be there, hey, maybe not this year.
Could be next
Talk
year.
a little bit about what that means to be on the board and guiding an organization, because that's something. There's joining the chamber as part of being in part of the organization, but now you're on the board. You're setting the pathways of how it works.
So we were before this, we started recording this, we were joking about how someone came into the chamber, wants to be an ambassador already. Well, wait first, you gotta be in the board for a little, I mean, you gotta be in
You
the
can't be
chamber.
a senior first.
Right,
You gotta work your way towards it.
Yeah, and I think that the key thing is just get involved in some of these meetings and learn how the chamber works, learn the people. And also shows the chamber you're committed, to being involved. And so one of the first committees that was formed when I first got in the chamber was the nonprofit committee. And I had some nonprofit background in terms of CPA land, doing a lot of 990 tax returns. And so I was interested in how we could get the nonprofit sector matched up with the for-profit sector. And so that's why I joined that committee, and then became close with a lot of people on the committee, and still am. And it led me, we give back to one organization pretty heavy during Thanksgiving, which is Chasm. And I started running the Chasm program at work.
Okay, one second. What's Chasm?
Chasm is
So you can't come here and just drop a name. You gotta let us know, because that's what we do around.
It's the Columbia Heights Chesterfield Association for Social Ministry. And what they do is they have several things they do. They have a woman's clothes closet that they collect clothes for. So if a woman's having some problem, maybe she's divorced or some other kind of issues. So they provide clothing for women who are in situations where they probably weren't before. But the big program they have is the meal distribution for Thanksgiving. And they collect about like 20 goods, put them, package them up in a bag, and then we have a pickup down at the Chesterfield Fairgrounds. So I got involved with that, and just giving back and spending time in the chamber, getting to know people. And I think someone asked me, would you be interested? And I said, sure, let's go.
When you talk about like and that's one of the things. So on the mic, because Mike, this is what we do here. We talk about how business helps society be better. That nonprofit piece is something right there. It's the filler for all the things that the government can't do, and people need help. And that's what we see here, businesses stepping up to really play a part, not just business, but the people as well.
And we really talk about with our members, especially our for-profit ones, that if they have a community outreach initiative, if they have a nonprofit mission area of their business, of connecting them with the nonprofit committee so that they can find the right opportunities to support. And for the nonprofits, I mean, we're one of the few, I think there's a new one getting ready to start in the region, but we're one of the few associations that have a designated group for the nonprofit community. And that way they can build relationships and build partners, because they're looking for ways to expand their message.
Because the chamber, and you are a person who knows a person. And sometimes people, when they need help, they need somebody that knows somebody.
That's right.
It's what it comes down to.
That's right.
And the chamber is the ultimate place for that.
Right. Right.
There you go. Chesterfield Chamber. How can people find information about you guys out there?
You can find us at chesterfieldchamber.com or online at Chesterfield Chamber VA. And we're on all social media.
Chesterfield Chamber VA.
VA as in Virginia.
There may be, I don't know.
There are
I
some
don't know,
other
some-
localities around the country with that same first name.
All right, so how can people find information out about Village Bank?
Villagebank.com or LinkedIn. Look me up.
There you go. I see you on LinkedIn. You got
Yeah,
your
our
work.
chamber LinkedIn community is strong.
Yes, it is. All righty, so it was a big week for the chamber for Chesterfield. Groundbreaking.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
they had
So how
everything.
many interviews can one do for Lego in the state?
Well, I mean, when it's $1 billion, we may have more than one.
I
It would
know.
be
I got a
bad.
text
A lot of
yesterday.
zeros. A lot of
I got a
zeros.
text yesterday from a colleague in the state about Lego. And I'm like, we've been talking about it for
I've been
years.
talking about, yeah, that's true. But like you said, for all the wins that somebody sees big and splashy with Lego, there's a whole bunch of ones you don't see. That's
right.
the backbone. Explain to our listeners one more time about what that means, where you have the big one, but boy, there's a whole bunch of.
Yeah,
other
I
ones
mean, I
that-
think vibrant communities like Chesterfield become incredibly successful for two ways. They have the whales, which are the Legos, the Amazons, and so forth. And then you have the dolphins, which are the spools of small business that really help elevate those large employers, because those large employers need to do contracts locally. They need to hire locally. In fact, I met Lego's brand new recruiter. I think he was on day 4, a local guy who's been doing recruiting for 20 years. They've just hired him. And so they'll start, I mean, they've been taking applications. There's a portal you can find through chesterfieldbusiness.com, taking applications for their variety of positions that they have open. But it really does take, you know, there's this conversation around economic development about NIMBYism and not in my backyard.
That's what everybody wants.
That's what everybody,
But
if
you
did-
are, you.
but I'm gonna
explain that.
push that. I'm gonna push and say, but if they weren't in that backyard, the community desert, the business desert, we've all seen them when we've taken road trips of the community that it's just strictly a desert. Or you have an outfield of your community going somewhere else to work. So if they're going somewhere else to work, they're eating lunch there. They're probably stopping and picking up groceries there. They're probably stopping and getting gas there. And so they're spending all their residual income in another community and not in my community. And we want jobs for our kids when they finish school to have a place to work
That,
In great schools.
and great schools.
I'm the perfect example of that. I spend more time in Chesterfield than I do in Henrico.
Yeah.
I'm over here 5
So
days
we
a
want you
week.
to influx travel in, right?
That's what you,
And we
right.
want to stop the travel out.
Because that, so when you're saying, not just the business isn't there, but all the things that come with that one employee,
That
Oh,
one employee.
that one employee, it is a ripple effect.
And why wouldn't you want to be in Chesterfield?
I didn't,
Everything you need is
I
right there.
didn't know.
Everything
when I
you need is right
came.
there.
And now you know, yeah, I came here.
Now you know, and Donna's like, why is all the gas
and
going to
going to
Chester?
town, because when we came here, people said, don't cross the river.
And then you did.
And then I'm like,
the gates open.
exactly, I became Mike King Biz.
Yeah.
Chesterfield Chamber, we'd like to thank you for that one. I am not shy about what it has done for this business here. We're on the radio, as I always say, the microphone ain't free and my grandkids need stuff. So please support our sponsors and advertisers. That's how we do what we do. Last year, we donated 24,000 minutes of free airtime to nonprofits to tell their story. Just go out. Chasm, you got to put me in touch with them.
Okay.
Because what they're doing. We give a platform to people who are out there doing good things. Danielle, one last time, how can people find you?
Find us online at chesterfieldchamber.com and social media. It's at Chesterfield Chamber VA.
And Village Bank, villagebank.com.
That's right.
Just Google them and they're out there.
We're out here.
On the mic with Mike, we got to run. Oh, here we go. One last time to tell you what the name of the program is.
My name is Isabella, and you're listening to Mike King Biz. Hubby, that's my scam.
All righty. I'm not as cool as Peter Larson, who is Biggie.
Yeah.
I'm just Scampy. All
All right.
right,
Campy.
but he's Biggie. All right, but I can't ride a Segway either.
Or sing
Or he can
He
sing.
can
on the
sing.
subway. Yeah,
Well,
he sings in this, I think it's church choir as well. Yeah.
I'm not shocked.
Yeah.
We talked about him being an actor as well. Shout out to U.S. Pest Control, another chamber member, as well as Patrick McFadden doing some really cool things. Well, Mike, we got to go. Take care now.